Article 1.
The chair recognizes Mr. Martinez Fisher to explain the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I don't like hearing a debate that's a one-sided story. And as much as I don't like the discussion about looking at cost and labeling people as burdens and wanting to get to the heart of a matter for some nefarious reason, I will spot that argument if somebody believes honestly that there's a legitimate legislative purpose to look into these burdens when it comes to our healthcare system and our prison system. But I also believe we should look at the benefits. And so I know that I had an amendment, along with Representative Garcia, had an amendment that would look at the study of the economic impact of immigrants to this state. And specifically, the instruction would be to add this amendment, which would also report on a couple things like workforce impact. What I mean by that is 33% of all agricultural workers in this state are immigrants. So we want to look at the workforce impact. We want to look at the tax contribution, all of the money that we have just given away, $51 billion in tax cuts. I will remind you that 58 cents of every dollar we generate in this state comes from sales tax. I bet you lots of folks pay that sales tax, so we want to know that. So if Mr. Alstott means what he says and he wants to get this picture, we should have the complete picture. So I am hoping and expecting that he will accept this amendment to his amendment, so that when we send this instruction over, we're not just looking at some perceived burdens, we're also looking at overall benefits. And I hope it is acceptable to the author of the original motion.
Ms. Jones, for what purpose?
Will the gentleman yield?
Does the gentleman yield for questions?
Yes, I do.
Gentleman yields.
Representative Martinez Fisher, you just talked about how we shouldn't just look at the burdens, we should look at benefits as well.
That's correct.
Which is a totality of the circumstances.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you doing this because, one, you want for things to be accurate, but that you also know that in America, we all have a Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, which means that the government can't force you to incriminate yourself? Is that one reason for this amendment?
Among others, yes, this is one of the reasons.
And also, did you do this amendment because you're asking, what are we doing here? We're trying to use the budget to coerce people into disclosing their immigration status in one of the most vulnerable moments of their lives when they're sick, injured, or dying in hospitals. Is that meant to show something else?
It is, and it also takes into account that, there's about a $30 billion economic investment that is made through immigrant spending, immigrant labor. That's about, in addition to that, they pay about $6.5 billion of combined state, local, and federal taxes. And I would be very, very cautious about doing anything in this subject matter without looking at these important data points.
And let me ask you this. Asking someone about their citizenship status in a hospital setting is more than just cruel. It may be unconstitutional. It forces people to choose between getting medical care and potentially incriminating themselves. And that's not just wrong, it's dangerous. Does that fit into what you're trying to do with this amendment?
I agree.
And are you offering your amendment because you're trying to, I guess, de-weaponize using the state budget to trample on the Fifth Amendment?
I think the Fifth Amendment's important, Representative, but look, the honest truth is, if there's a belief out here by any member that thinks that there's something happening that requires inquiry, well then, I'm willing to give that member the benefit of the doubt, so long as that member is willing to give me the benefit of the doubt that we should look at the complete picture. So I will discern, if this amendment does not go on, then I'm led to believe that there really is no true legitimate interest in understanding immigrant impact on this state. They're just maybe looking for a talking point or a tweet or something to message back home, and I don't think we should be legislating for political theater.
Does it concern you that our hospitals may end up being a tool of law enforcement and that is a danger to public health?
It is, Representative, and I also don't want to lose the attention of the body. I think we know what this is. We know what the original motion is. We know what this amended motion is. Let's just see if the author will accept this or if we're going to have to vote on it. But I appreciate your questions.
Thank you.
The chair recognizes Mr. Alcott to speak against the motion.
Yes, thank you, Mr.
Mr. Speaker.
Members, while I appreciate and respect Representative Martina Fisher's
Mr. Speaker.
intent, and I encourage him to send this, file this as a separate motion to instruct,
I wanna ask a question.
I'm unwilling to accept this simply because I don't want to cloudy up my motion to instruct. I don't want to subject it to a point of order, and so I respectfully decline.
Mr. Speaker,
Mr. Anchia, for what purpose?
will the gentleman yield for questions?
Will the gentleman yield for questions?
I will.
The gentleman yields.
So, Representative Alcott, you have chosen not to take the amendment to your motion to instruct, correct?
That's correct.
And your ostensible reason for not wanting to explore the benefits of our immigrant communities, our friends, our neighbors, our spouses, is that you don't want to, and I think I'll use your words, muddy up
Yeah.
the motion to instruct. Is that correct?
I'm happy to entertain this motion as a separate motion, sir.
Okay, but you are speaking against it. Is that right?
As an amendment to this amendment, I'm speaking against it.
Okay. And your amendment, your motion to instruct, rather, and we have it uploaded now, so I'd like to walk through it with you in the body. Your motion to instruct is to take amendments 253 and 315 and move them from Article 11. Is that correct?
You have to forgive me. I'm going to have to pull it up.
Sorry, I'll restate it because I think you have it in front of you. Amendments 253 and 315 and move them from Article 11 to Articles 2 and 5. Is that correct? We're reading from the same document on
Yes,
your on your motion to instruct?
Moving Amendment 253.
Mr. Anchia, we are on the Martinez-Fisher motion.
Correct. And in order to understand how the Martinez-Fisher amended motion to instruct works, that he is currently speaking against, I wanted to go over with him the underlying amendment. Is that in order, Mr. Speaker?
The
So-
underlying motion is not before us at this time.
Okay, but since we just loaded it, I wanted to understand how the two would work together. But I will instead just talk about the motion to instruct. Do you think it's valuable to understand the benefits of our immigrant community to the state of Texas?
Yes, are you referring to immigrants or illegal immigrants or both?
All immigrants.
Okay. I'm not speaking on for or against. I'm actually just speaking that I don't want this on my motion to instruct. So I think it's a great thing that he introduces this to the body in a separate motion.
Okay. Mr. Speaker,
Mr. Anchia, for what purpose?
I'd like to raise a point of order against further consideration of the amendment and the underlying and the amendment to the amendment under Rule 13, Section 8, as it not being properly before the House.
Mr. Anchia, bring your point of order down front, please.
Thank you.